Request that all legislators come to the chambers, and we will begin today's meeting. going to call the meeting of the legislature to order. I would ask that you all please rise. Legislator John Ferretti will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Mike, could you call the roll, please?
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Deputy Presiding Officer Howard Copel. Here. Alternate Deputy Presiding Officer Denise Ford.
Here.
Thank you. Legislator Bino will not be with us today. Legislator Carrier Solage will not be with us. Legislator Deborah Muley. Legislator C. William Gaylor III. Legislator John Giuffre.
Here.
Legislator Mazi Philippe.
Here.
Thank you. Legislator Delia DeRigi-Witten. Legislator James Kennedy. Here. Legislator Thomas McKevitt.
Here.
Legislator Laura Schaefer. Thank you. Legislator John Ferretti. Here. Legislator Arnold Drucker. Here. Legislator Rosemarie Walker.
Here.
Legislator Josh Lafazan. Legislator Stephen Rhodes.
Present.
Thank you. Minority Leader Kavan Abrahams. Here. And Presiding Officer Richard Nicolello.
Here.
Thank you, sir. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome, everyone, to the last meeting of the Nassau County Legislature for 2022. We will be going into our business calendar in a little while. First, we have, as we always do, a recognition of December's top cops. That'll be followed by a number of points of personal privilege and then public comment. If you intend to provide public comment, we just ask that you come to the clerk's office up here, which will be from your perspective to the left, and please fill out a form, and then you'll be called during the public comment portion of the meeting. So to start things off, it's my privilege to introduce PBA President Tom Shevlin for the top cop presentation.
Good afternoon. Happy holidays, everybody, and thank you so much for having us. I'm going to introduce Police Officer John Patterson, who's the PBA Corresponding Secretary, to speak about December's top cop.
Thank you, Tommy. Good afternoon, County Legislators. Thank you for having us. Every month, you honor the police officers in Nassau County with an award, and this month is very special to me. I work with Wayne in the 4th Precinct a long time, and he's a great friend, great cop, great husband, great father, and I just want to tell you a little bit about his story. Police Officer Wayne Resnick is assigned to the 4th Precinct in Nassau County. Prior to getting assigned to the Nassau County Police Department, he was assigned to Communications Bureau and then the correction officers. He's been a member of the Nassau County workforce since 1994, sorry, Wayne. Wayne has served the county residents for a number of years. In the 4th Precinct, he received numerous citations and awards and displayed bravery on multiple occasions. In April of 2022, this year, Wayne was unfortunately diagnosed with the ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Tremendous blow to not only his family, Trish, his 5 beautiful children, but to his whole workforce and friends. Sorry. The courage that Wayne has displayed is second to none since this diagnosis. He's been brave. He's been, his humorous self. He greets everything with humor, and he's just one of the funniest guys I've ever met, and that has not changed. Bravery can be defined in displayed in many different ways, especially for a police officer who's willing to lay down their lives. But Wayne has displayed it even more so since the diagnosis. He continues to fight on, and he continues to never give up, and that's why we thank you for honoring him today. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I know normally when we give a Top Cop award, it's for bravery, it's for one incident. Most of the time, it's for a great arrest, for great work that we do. This is a little bit different, but we wanted to highlight this police officer has always served people. He's always done anything possible to help others. He risked his life every day and night that he went to work. And we want to show today that we are all here to support him and his family during this very difficult time. And for that reason, we are honored that Police Officer Wayne Resnick is our top cop for December 2022.
Good afternoon, and thank you once again. Every month we stand here, and you so graciously recognize our heroes that are willing to put their lives on the line. This is no different today. Wayne is a hero. Wayne is a hero that went out there and served the people of Nassau County unwavering. He's also a hero to his wife and 5 children. I just made a new companion in James over there. But he goes out and did right by his family. When he got sick, there was an accommodation made at the precinct so he can come to work, not go home. He came to work. Even heroes sometimes need help. The union standing behind me came to bat for Wayne, big time. The department came to bat for Wayne. But what all of you don't sometimes realize, and I know it goes back and forth up there at that table, what you do for all of us in law enforcement is important, because mental health, welfare, and everything that you've put forward in your bills to recognize what the men and women go through, well, we're going to stand by our hero today. You've stood by our hero today. We'll stand by the family, and we'll continue to do as long as they're in need. And again, thank you for always recognizing our heroes.
I want to thank you all for honoring me today. It means a lot, and I appreciate it.
After, and then photos over there. Oh, you got questions?
Legislator Ford.
Okay, good afternoon. It's a very special day here in the legislature, and a perfect choice for the PBA's top cop. Officer Resnick, you have served our county and your community well, and we will always be indebted to you. You are blessed with such a wonderful family, and being a member of the Nassau County Police Department. You will always have the support and friendship of these many officers, as this is not an easy road you have before you. To your wife and children, you know you can count on these officers. They will always be there for you, no matter what happens. And I just want to say that, Officer Resnick, we are proud to honor you as our top cop for December. But also, I think that you should deserve the honor of being our top cop for 2022. God bless you. Thank you.
I would just add that the entire citizens of Nassau County, all of us, are proud and grateful of your service to our county and our residents. And your courage and your service is an inspiration to everyone here. I know that your family is very proud of you and all that you've done, and all of your friends and brothers and sisters in the police force. But please consider us to be proud of you as well. And we are very grateful that you've gotten the time to serve us. So thank you, Officer Resnick. Minority Leader Abrahams.
I'm sorry, Denise. Oh, okay. I just wanted to, again, express our appreciation on behalf of Nassau County residents to Officer Resnick. As you all know, when we present our top cops every month, we get to see what our officers are doing. They exemplifying their bravery, their courage, being courageous. But today we get to see the human side of it. And as I listening to Officer Resnick, and I'm looking at the family members that are here, it's important that we see our officers do a great job every single day serving the people in Nassau County. And then many of our officers have to deal with the human aspect of what goes on in their home. And Officer Resnick wouldn't be able to be here today. So I want to give a big round of applause to his family and to his wife for being so supportive over those years for what he's been able to do, because Nassau County officers, it's not easy to do what they do, but you need a very supportive, strong family to be able to go out there every day and serve other people other than your family. So let's give a big round of applause to the Resnick family as well. And to you, Officer Resnick, as I said before, thank you for your service, and God bless you, and I wish you much. I know there's going to be much courageous days that come up, and I wish you nothing but the best. God bless you, sir. Thank you again.
Okay, traditionally we have the presentation up here, but we're going to come down to you to present the citation to you and the family. Okay. So. continue with our top cops presentations. I'd like to invite up Michael Maloney from the Detectives Association, Vice President, for the purposes of presentation. Kelly?
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Chris Kelly, the first Vice President of the Nassau County Detectives. I wanted to thank all the legislators for always honoring our members. Thank you, Presiding Officer Rich Nicolello, for organizing this today. Knowing what a huge issue catalytic converters thefts have been in Nassau County, the hard work over the last year is a massive accomplishment by some of our asset forfeiture detectives. Those detectives are Kenton Locke and James Tobin. All the hard work was led by our great commissioner, Patrick Ryder, who will speak a little bit more on that now.
So this is an ongoing case, so it's a little different than normally speaking about it. About what was in the news there, we could tell you what was in the papers, but there's an ongoing part to this. But what the two detectives did over the past year, when every day we'd be up against CatCon thefts that were going on, they were in the background running this investigation. And it was done out of the asset forfeiture and intelligence side. A lot of intelligence that went into it. We had this business did over $100 million worth of CatCon thefts and decanting, as they call it. The two detectives, on top of an analyst that's not here today, Amanda, they data mined it constantly, watched the flow, kept pushing and pushing and pushing until they got to that conclusion. 6 search warrants, $7.2 million in cash, hundreds and hundreds of CatCons, both ones that have already been stripped and ones that had not been stripped yet. There's been 3 cases around the country. This was the largest. And we believe this is going to change and end all of your headaches as well as mine from the phone calls that come about the crimes that are happening. If anybody's out there bringing a CatCon to any of our yards, thanks to the legislation put forward by this legislative body, we will be going after them now, because they turn a blind eye to a 19-year-old kid who walks in with 10 CatCons but presents his ID. That's what he was asked to do. Well, they're not doing their due diligence, and because of that, we're going to continue the investigation. They're not going to say nothing but thank you, because they'll get themselves in a position for the court purposes, but I can't thank them enough for the time and effort that they put in there, because this has been a thorn in our side, that and stolen cars. And what they've done in this case and the work we've done on our stolen cars is going to be a great reduction in crime, as you're going to see in the next year. Thank you. Gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a happy holiday.
That's it.
Thank you, Detectives Locke and Tobin. This is obviously an issue that is of incredible importance to our residents. And we've seen in Nassau County that the theft of catalytic converters has skyrocketed. So it affects all our neighborhoods. And we understand how difficult it is to prevent these thefts, because it can be done so quickly with common tools. But the fact that you put this time in, and obviously the Commissioner couldn't give us much in the way of detail, but I'm sure this took tremendous amounts of perseverance, attention to detail, just sticking to this until you got what you needed. But if we're ultimately ever going to be able to put this to rest, and I think we will, you really have to go after that side of it, the demand side. The demand disappears, then the crime will disappear. So thank you on behalf of all of our residents for the work that you've done, along with the entire police department, as well as our commissioner, who's been on top of this from the beginning. So.
I too want to express my gratitude for the hard work and the dedication and your diligence in effectively with these arrests and the capture of these people that are behind the catalytic converter thefts. And I also, I think because of the great leadership under Commissioner Ryder, I think that this helped facilitate this. Commissioner Ryder, you too, I think, should be considered a top cop today in more ways than one. Because, you know, I remember when I was in your class, when you gave the civilian class, and you were telling us all about IT and how important it was, and, you know, like this constant staying on top of different things, utilizing the various tools that are open to the police department. And I think in this case, it has been demonstrated quite well. So all of you, you deserve great honors, and I know we can't go into it for like too much, but I guess on behalf of everybody here in Nassau County, and especially the residents in Long Beach, I want to say thank you very much. And I do want to point out that as a result, because these people did live in our fair city, we have here with us today our city manager, Donna Gaydon, our city council president, Karen McGinnis, and John McNally, who also is part of the administrative staff here in the city of Long Beach. So thank you. I don't know if you wanted to say anything. Oh, Karen, okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Karen McGinnis. I'm the president of the Long Beach City Council. On behalf of the residents of Long Beach and all the residents of Nassau County, we wanted to thank Commissioner Ryder, the Detective Department, our unsung heroes, and the entire police department for their tenacity and professionalism in making this bust. We think this sends a loud message that the Nassau County PD and its residents won't stand for this type of behavior or business in our hometowns. Again, thank you to the Nassau County Police Department, not just for your effort, but your ongoing partnership with the Long Beach PD and all you do to keep Nassau County residents safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. And just to be a little corny today, I'd like to think of you guys as the CatCon theft terminators. Thank you.
Legislator Drucker.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I just wanted to say that, you know, it never gets old up here honoring you guys and the bravery and all of the wonderful things you do. It never gets stale or old. But what's refreshing and what the upshot of today is, your message is resonating to the residents in the county wide, because we, all of us, get phone calls, I'm sure, about this problem in all of our districts. But what we're doing today is we're sending that message out that you guys are on top of it. And that's really what our constituents want. They call us and say, what are the cops doing about it? Well, we now can show them what you're doing about it. We can't get into detail, but the fact that we're here today to talk about it means that the message is getting out, and I want to thank you for that.
Legislator Ferretti.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Just joining with my colleagues in thanking you for your continued outstanding work. This is a major, major issue for everyone up here and all of our constituents. I doubt there's a single district that hasn't been affected by this spree of catalytic converter thefts. And I want to thank you for the time that you put into this and giving it the attention it deserves. And I think, you know, I do agree with Legislator Drucker. This is it's a great message, but not just to our constituents saying that you know, our cops are on top of it, as you are, but it's a message to the bad guys, right? You know, you come into Nassau County, you do this kind of stuff, you're going to get caught, and that's because of the leadership of Commissioner Ryder and each and every one of you. So thank you all for what you've done, and keep up the good work.
I would like to invite you up so that we can present some citations. we have several points of personal privilege today. First off, Legislator Mazi Philip has a point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. It is a great pleasure to recognize Lou Bernardi for recently being chosen for induction into the New York State Baseball Hall of Fame's Class 2023. With this honor, you will be joining a list of baseball legends such as Mickey Mantle, Kate Hernandez, Sandy Koufax, and other distinguished players, coaches, and writers that has been inducted since the inaugural class of 2011. To do so at such a young age, further adding to this accomplishment, you have dedicated your life to the sport, first starting at Herrick's High School, the New York Institute of Technology, and for several years professionally. You then joined the college coaching ranks, where you have enjoyed success over the past 12 years, including as a pitching coach at U.S. Merchant Marine Academy since 2019, and helping lead the team to become the champions of 2021 Skyline Conference, the first in Academy history. As a Long Islander and lifelong resident of New Hyde Park, you have also given back to the community, serving as a volunteer, a mentor, in many student leagues, providing thousands of pieces of equipment to underprivileged youth so they can enjoy the game. Besides this latest achievement, you have received many other awards as a player, coach, and humanitarian. Continue to promote the game of baseball every step of the way. Today, we have another one to add to your collection. Lou, please accept this point of personal privilege award on behalf of all residents of Nassau County. We are so proud of you. Congratulations. Thank you, Lou. Lou, come if you want to say anything.
First of all, thank you so much, Legislator Philippe Mazzi. I consider you a dear personal friend, and it's a tremendous honor to be here today. Also, it goes without saying, Presiding Officer Rich Nicolello, our friendship goes back many, many, many years, and thank you for allowing the ceremony to be here today. I don't know if everyone heard, but the reason I'm here is I just got inducted into the New York State Baseball Hall of Fame. So I'm going to be going into the Hall of Fame in the class of 2023. And I would be remiss if I didn't just mention a few people that are here with me today, friends and family, representation from the United States Merchant Marine Academy, and one of the main reasons why I'm getting inducted this year, who I'll talk about in a minute or two, and obviously my fiance, who's been with me every step of the way. She gives me the strength to do these things, so I'm very grateful for them, to say the least. Since I was announced a few months ago, I've had the honor and privilege to speak to various individuals on various different platforms, but the one consistent question that remains the same is, what does it mean to actually be in the Hall of Fame? What does it mean? And you all could ask that same question to yourself. What does it mean to be a legislator? The people behind me can ask the exact same thing. What does it mean to be a police officer? And at first, I'll be honest, it made me realize most about my personal achievements, my personal accolades. I played professional, but that's all selfish at the end of the day. It wasn't until I spoke to, I'll call him my sponsor, my advisor, and the reason why I'm getting into the New York State Baseball Hall of Fame, and he's with us here today, Ray Negron from the New York Yankees, who was the one who wrote the letter to the president and the committee on my behalf. It wasn't until I really spoke to him that I realized why I was getting in. Now, playing and coaching achievements are great, but it's such a small fraction that paints the whole picture. And the main reasons was, as Legislator Philippe said, strengthening relationships, supporting communities, and most importantly, leaving a legacy. And I'll answer the question one more time, and then I'll end here. What does it really mean to be in the Hall of Fame then? What does it really mean? And to be honest, it means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And it means nothing because if I don't use my voice, it means nothing because if I don't use my platform for the better good and continue to be a role model for the next generation, okay, then it means nothing. It means nothing if I take advantage of it. It means nothing if I let this title get to my head. It means nothing if I forget where I came from. So for those reasons, as far as I'm concerned, the easy part is over. The hard part now is living up to this prestigious honor and representing the Hall of Fame and continue to do what I've been doing for the next several years to come. So with that, I do thank every one of you for being here today. A special thanks once again to Legislator Philippe, Legislator Nicolello. Thank you both for your friendship, and I wish everybody up there a happy holiday and, most importantly, a happy and safe new year. So thank you.
Lou, you are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Legislator Schaefer.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Good afternoon, everyone. I am here today to talk about my honoree is Dave Bernacci. If you want to come up to the microphone, Dave, and if I don't know if your volunteer wants to come up as well. She doesn't have to, but she can. And Denise. So Dave Bernacci is the founder and president of Pets for Love Foundation. Dave and I met because I live in a building, a condominium building, and we had a couple of stray cats living outside of the building. And they were living out there winter, spring, summer, fall. Not a life for a cat. I happen to be a cat person. I like cats. I'm not a crazy cat lady, but I have a cat. And Dave's not a crazy cat man. He's just got a tremendous heart. So I reached out to Gary Rogers, who heads up the Nassau County SPCA. He put me in touch with Dave. Dave came to our building and he helped to trap the cats. So I asked him what he does, what is his program involved. They trap and release some cats, but they trap the cats. If they're sick cats, they get them medical care. They get every cat spayed and neutered if it's, excuse me, not already. If the cat needs vaccinations, they get vaccinations. All the money comes from donations to his foundation, or I'm going to venture to guess out of your own pocket. You don't have to admit to that, but I bet you it does. So when Dave and I were speaking at one day, he said, maybe you can help me out with something. I said, sure, what is it? And he said, I've been trying to get in touch with the county because I have an idea. Myself and my volunteers, is what he said, do some work in the county sumps. He said, we help control the feral cat colonies in the sumps, which I don't know if you knew you had. I said, no, I didn't know that. Nobody ever complains to me about feral cat colonies in sumps, maybe couches in sumps, but not that. So I said, what do you want to do? And he said, I know we're doing this and probably illegally and we shouldn't be in there. He said, but this is what we do. And I said, okay, well, we put together a meeting. We spoke to the county attorney's office. We had DPW involved, Department of Health, and Nassau County SPCA, so we could cover all bases and make sure whatever they wanted Dave to abide by and his volunteers, what rules needed to be followed, he would do that. And we came to an agreement then. We met with the county executive, who I want to thank very much for being open to doing this. We have a pilot program now called the Community Cat Management Initiative, and Dave and his volunteers have we started with 5 sumps that they knew had colonies in them, and he told me the first sump that he started in Hicksville had about 33 cats when he started. Now they're down to 18 because they're able to, cats that they take and can be socialized, they get them adopted out. He right now just has cats in foster homes. They had a brick and mortar in the Source Mall, but when the new owner came in, they kicked them out. So he is looking for another place to have a shelter because they run out of foster homes. So like I said, they started with 5 sumps. There's 2 more that have been added, so we're going to amend the agreement. There's no money. He's not paid by the county at all. Everything comes, like I said, from donations. So I just wanted to say that I just think you're amazing what you do. You really dedicate your life to this mission, and I think it's important because it does help the community. It keeps that population under control. I know you said even older cats, there's a sanctuary they can go to if need be, and I just think that it's amazing, and I wanted to honor you today for that. I also wanted to thank, like I said, the county executive for being open to this and for making this happen. And it's a pilot program. If anybody has any questions for Dave, I think he's going to speak a little bit, but thank you. Go ahead.
I want to thank you very much, Laura Schaefer, for all the help and being there and making this successful. And I'd also like to thank Mr. Blakeman for stepping up and helping us finalize everything, because not too many people understand the problem, the horrific problem we have all over, including Nassau County, of the community cats that are out there. And we use the term community because, you know, there's cats that are born outside. Unfortunately, we need stronger laws, but there's too many people that just decide they don't want their cats anymore and just throw them out. People see a colony and they figure nobody's going to notice one more cat. And that's basically what Pets for Love does, is all the community cats, the sick and the injured, especially the ones that get, you know, put out of a house. They don't know how to survive out there. And our average medical bill runs about $5,000 to $7,000 a month, because these cats don't know how to survive. They starve. They get attacked by the other cats. But, you know, it's just such a major step forward, and there's just so many people to thank for this. But Laura Schaefer and Mr. Blakeman were the top two of making such headway. And I've been always saying it's everybody working together to help solve the problems. And we're saving, I can't tell you how many cats, and as Laura had stated, the one sump, every sump actually, we can usually reduce by 50% of the cats that are out there. It's a safe area, and once we set up the feeding stations, the houses, it keeps them in there. They're comfortable, they have food, they stay off the streets, they're not as much of a problem to the neighborhood. There's less illnesses and sickness, and you know, we do have several, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just blank, I'm sorry. Okay, I will. Sanctuaries, I am sorry.
That's okay.
We have several sanctuaries that we deal with, because a lot of the senior cats that we find that just can't survive out on their own can go to these sanctuaries to live out their life. The injured ones, we take in, we give them all the medical care. Most of them end up having to be adopted because they can't go back out. And there is a small percentage that there's just nowhere to keep them, so they go back to where we place them. But it's just such an honor to be here, and such an honor to have this for us. And
well, thank you.
I just want to let you guys know I appreciate everything, and hopefully the laws. And like she said, my biggest holiday wish, because I have been based out of Nassau forever, since 2008. I'd really like to stay here, but my holiday wish is that we can get the county or somebody to help us get a building so we can do it right. And it's literally, with a building like when we had it, it's a matter of saving thousands rather than hundreds, with a place to put them and move them through.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Also, I didn't want to forget, if you, anyone who shops on Amazon, and I know you pretty much all do, that's Pets for Love is an animal, a Smile, Amazon Prime Smile charity, you know, where if you can pick a charity and all your purchases make a donation toward the charity of your choice. So I switched to Pets for Love as my charity. So anybody who's willing to, every little bit helps.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Minority Leader Abrahams.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Nicolello. So, my point of personal privilege is for the Uniondale Fire Department, the Roosevelt Fire Department, and Sanitation District 2. Some of you might remember last month I had the distinct honor with my colleague, Legislator Debbie Muley, to recognize the achievements in what they were able to do with the Freeport Fire Department. Some of you may remember early November, there was a horrific fire in Roosevelt, where all three departments worked together to try to ensure the safety of the residents that were at that home. The Roosevelt and the Uniondale Fire Departments responded quickly and promptly. I have to say, not just because they're my fire departments in my legislative district, but they are one of the most bravest fire departments that I know. It seems like the fires that occur in Uniondale and Roosevelt seem to be of a very high degree of unsafety, and they constantly go in and recognize the fact and put the residents' lives first. But then also I want to recognize Sanitation District Number 2, because there were several firefighters, and my good friend for probably about almost 25 years, Carl Dehaney's here, to accept on behalf of Sanitation District Number 2. Several of the firefighters were actually working at Sanitation District 2 and were able to leave to be able to respond to the fire as well. So I want to thank them as well. So if folks from Sanitation District Number 2, I see that Carl's here, as well as the Unionville Fire Department, the Roosevelt Fire Department, please come up. I want to be able to give you the opportunity and the recognition. As I said before, we are very appreciative of what you were able to do. I know Chief Ellerby is here, and several members, again, from Sanitation District Number 2, and as well as from the other fire departments. But thank you again for your courageous department, putting their lives, putting the residents' lives first before their very own lives. But thank you again. Appreciate you very much. Chief, would you like to say something?
Okay. My name is Jessica Ellerby. I'm the First Assistant Chief, Unionville Fire Department. Today I'm here representing Unionville Fire Department and Roosevelt Fire Department due to the Roosevelt Fire Department Chief's absence. We'd like to thank you for representing us, Legislator Abrahams, and we'd also like to thank you for recognizing us. This fire that we responded to was horrific, like you said, and it was a very rough day for us. There were a lot of departments that responded, and it was a tough day for everybody. So we'd like to thank you for supporting the fire service, and just to remind you all, we're all volunteer, and I'd like to introduce you to the people that are here today. We have Firefighter Melendez from Roosevelt. We have ex-Chief Cameron Peak from Unionville Fire Department, and we have ex-Captain Luis de Paz Rodriguez, who is also our supervisor for our EMS program in Unionville. So thank you again. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you again, Chief. I don't know if Carl, you wanted to share some wisdom during this holiday season?
Good afternoon, men and women of the legislature. My name is Carl Dehaney. I'm the chairman of the Board of Commissioners for Sanitary District Number 2. I'm joined with Keith Eccles, who's our general supervisor, as well as Joe Brown, who was the actual supervisor on duty who jumped into action on that particular day. And I just wanted to say thank you and give our appreciation to you, Legislator Abrahams, for recognizing Sandy 2 in the middle of this. What I will say is Joe he embodies everything that the district is. Joe was just doing his job on that day and happened to see what was happening and jumped into action. And I can honestly say that would be the same for anyone in our district. We're made up of some fine men and women in our district, and I certainly appreciate you taking the time to recognize us and what we do. My dad always said something important. He said, you can tell something's very important if you stop doing it. And if we stop collecting garbage, we'd be in a lot of trouble in our district. So I just wanted to just thank you and take this time to thank you for the appreciation and a round of applause for Joe for what he did on that particular day. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Carl, and thank you, Joe. I know Joe was here. Yep. And I know Joe was here a month ago when Legislator Muley and myself recognized him as well. But we just want to thank you again for your tremendous involvement in our communities, making sure our communities are safe and clean, and obviously everything that you do with the sanitation district. I do have citations here. Presiding Officer, I'm going to ask all of the recipients to meet me in the back. I guess we'll meet on the outside back in the vestibule to be able to take the pictures so we don't disturb the program so you guys can move on with the business of today. But I want to thank each and every one of our recipients today for their work and their involvement in our communities. Thank you again. God bless each and every one.
Happy holidays to all of you as well. Thank you.
All right. Almost done with the points of personal privilege. Would be remiss if I did not take note of the fact that in the last election, one of our own was elected as a New York State Senator. Will be beginning his duties as of January 1st of 2023, which for our loss, he will not be serving here anymore. He'll be going on to bigger and better things. Steve Rhodes has been an exemplary legislator. Nobody works harder than he does. He has been extraordinary here at the legislature, here in Mineola, in terms of the substance of what we do and the issues that we deal with. But there has been no greater advocate for the residents of their own district than Steve Rhodes. So he's been a phenomenal legislator in every way that you could have. So I want to congratulate you and tell you, Steve, that we will miss you from on the legislature.
I guess, no. No, we're not going to let him. This is it, Steve. Your time is up for talking.
The legislator from the 19th district is not recognized.
Right. Though you'll be given an opportunity to say goodbye and farewell, but I too want to echo, what the presiding officer has said. It's been a pleasure working with you. You've always been, very dedicated. You've been very devoted, and you actually do a lot of your homework on a lot of the issues. So I know a lot of times when we're sitting around and talking about different things, you do provide some wisdom and some guidance in some of the issues that do affect Nassau County. I mean this honestly. I mean, I'm not kidding around. But aside from that, you've always been somebody who, you just have a great sense of humor, a great disposition, and I think that you'll be a very welcome relief up in Albany. I think that you'll bring some energy and some, hopefully, youthfulness, right? Because there's a lot of older ones up there. So maybe you're going to set the trend, and his good looks, of course. Howard's too embarrassed to say that, but I'll say it on behalf of Howard, that your good looks as well. But honestly, keep up the good work. I think this was a well-deserved win for you, and I think that you'll do well up in Albany, serving not only your Senate district, but as well as, once again, all the people in Nassau County. So good luck with everything, and you will be missed.
Legislator Drucker.
From our side of the aisle, I have to tell you, though, that we are happy for you, Steve. You have demonstrated this is my 7th year on the legislature, and I can honestly say in 7 years, you've always treated each and every one of us with civility and respect. And you represent how politics should really be. And, we don't always agree. In fact, we rarely agree. But that's not the point. The point is that you've demonstrated how a legislature can operate in a civil fashion. You have been a dedicated legislator in all these years that I've known you, and I do wish you the best of luck up in Albany. I do say from a personal standpoint, and actually it's not a personal standpoint, I think from our side of the aisle, we thank you because our legislative sessions are now going to be considerably shorter.
Legislator Lafazan.
I'll save the comedy for Legislator Drucker. Legislator Rhodes, on behalf of myself as a person, I want to thank you for the grace you showed me as a new legislator in this building. No cameras, no witnesses, just you and me in your office explaining to me how this building worked, explaining to me the nooks and crannies of who to call when you need new pens, all the way to filing bills and legislation. You're a tremendous person, and I think your constituents know that, and I think that's why they sent you to Albany. So congratulations, and I'm lucky to count you as a friend. Thank you.
Legislator Walker.
I'm sorry.
Steve, I want to wish you the very, very best of luck, too, and thank you for all you've done here on the legislature. Many times I've reached out to you, and you've reached out to me, and we've shared ideas and concerns that we had. I'm very, very blessed because the majority of my legislative district will now be represented by you as a senator. So expect a lot of phone calls from me. So, and I look forward to continue to working together with you in a very positive way for all of our residents. So, thank you.
Minority Leader Abrahams.
Oh, where do I start? I could do like a Comedy Central hour here. No, but in all seriousness, Steve, it's been truly a pleasure working with you. Definitely, I could say over the years, your insight and your probing questions compassion towards your community has been tremendous. I thought there was a possibility you may want to still be a legislator and be a state senator at the same time and do dual service. But I do recognize the fact, though we may not agree on all the issues, I think we do agree that we put residents first. And I want to wish you nothing but the best in your senatorial term, and I look forward to working with you in that capacity. And I look forward for all of us to work with you in that capacity. But God bless you. I know it's kind of bittersweet. Thank you, Legislator Drucker, because you serve with us now for some time, and then obviously we all want to be able to move on and move upwards in life, and you're getting an opportunity, and it's well deserved. I think the residents in your district are going to be served well. So thank you again for your service, and look forward to talking to you over the years. Thank you again.
Before I move on, Legislator Ferretti would like to say something, but Jerry would need.
Yeah, I'd just like to say a few words, if I can, in reference to Steve.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Jerry Cornwell, Nassau Community College, and on behalf of Nassau Community College, I would like to congratulate Steve and for all the support you've given the college. We greatly appreciate it, and we're looking forward to you going to Albany and to continue that support for Nassau Community College. So congratulations, have a great holiday, and we look forward to 2023. Thank you. Okay.
Legislator Ferretti. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Lon.
Sorry for the interruption. I just really wanted to say really quick, Steve, thank you so very much for your assistance over the years. We've had a lot of different challenges, but we've always been able to get past them. I truly appreciate all the support, yourself and your colleagues on the legislature. We look forward to working with you with your new position. Again, thank you so much, and blessed holidays. I'm sorry, Lionel Chitty, Office of Minority Affairs. Thank you.
So I may know Steve longer than anyone up here, I'm not sure, because prior to Steve moving to the dark side and the plaintiff side, he was actually a defense attorney in the law firm I'm currently at, which through my father, I met Steve at a very young age. We used to go to Met games together and other things. So I known him for a very long time, and I was probably like 8 or 9. And you were like 50. You know, I want to thank you, Steve. You like Legislator Lafazan, you took me under your wing. Even before I ever thought about running, I'd see you at things and you'd say, you should really run. You'd be good at running. And I took that to heart. You took me under your wing. You showed me a lot. I would say that hopefully one day we'll serve again together, but if you're sticking around in Albany, probably, no thanks. Really, good luck to you. You're going to be a great state senator, just like you were a great county legislator.
Legislator Giuffre.
You didn't think you'd get away without me saying something, do you? I learned from you, Steve. So thank you. It's been, I've only known you for a year as a legislator, but I do remember meeting you when you first ran in that special election, because we walked some EDs in your district, my friend. And but thank you. You've been, it's been an education, and you've been a good teacher. So thank you very much. I wish you well.
How you feeling? Your fingers okay? Yeah, start that 3-minute clock. You know, getting the chance to work with all of the amazing people here in Nassau County and in the town of Hempstead and town of Oyster Bay has truly been special. You know, when I got here, I used to tell Norma Gonzalez that you know, it took me a long time to get here, so I wasn't going to wait. You know, trying to learn the ropes and everything, getting involved in stuff, and I know that was difficult at times, but I want to thank each and every one of you for your guidance, you know, in teaching me how to be a more effective legislator, you know, in teaching me how to be a better getting the chance to work here for Nassau County and getting the chance to meet some amazing people, from the folks down in the copy room to all of our employees and all the various agencies, to the folks that work here at the legislature who truly do amazing work. I don't think the public gets the opportunity to see how much energy and how much passion and how much dedication the employees of this county have to the people that they serve. And it's truly been an honor for me to have the chance to work with you, the chance to represent you, because local government is really where the rubber meets the road, and where important things happen on a daily basis. And I wish that the public got the chance to see that. And to my colleagues here on the legislature, and especially to the colleagues in the executive branch that we've had the chance to work with over the years, I can't say thank you enough, not only for what you've done for me, but for what you do in your individual districts and what you mean to Nassau County. A lot of times, we get to battle back and forth, but every one of you is passionate and dedicated to Nassau County and to the people that you serve. The disputes and the debates that we have are always in the best interests of the people of Nassau County. Even if we may not agree on the path, we all agree on the goal, which is to make sure that the people of this county are served as well as they can be served. And even though I may be heading up to Albany, don't think that my heart's not going to continue to be here, and don't think that I'm going to in any way not be a passionate advocate for the people of Nassau County as you are. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity, whether our districts touch or not. I'm more looking forward to the opportunity to be able to work with each of you to benefit Nassau County in the future. So we still have some meeting left, and there's some business to do, but I just want to say a quick word of thanks. It's been an honor and a privilege for me to get the chance to serve with each of you, and thank you for what you and all of Nassau County's employees do on a daily basis to keep us safe, to keep our county successful, and to serve our citizens. God bless you. Is that okay? The 3-minute clock never started. Okay.
Presiding officer, if I may. Mita J. Meriday. I would like to offer my public comments with regard to outgoing legislator Stephen Rhodes, incoming state senator. It has been a pleasure working with you, knowing that you are one who is committed to service. I think the first time I met you, we were standing outside a house of a veteran after Sandy, and it was an elevated house, and you stood there that day and committed yourself to being of service to the many who are underserved and unheard in this county. So we do wish you well, and we do look forward to working with you, and ideally, since for those of you who don't know, that my primary focus is always on communities that are underserved, but my priority is for our veterans, and it's our hope that you will be a driving force to bring actual resources, much needed resources, to our veterans and our military families who are struggling here in Nassau County. And it's important that we address that and bring that to the table, particularly with the opportunities that are available for us for federal and state funding through the PAC bill. But I do want to say that we appreciate you, and you even came to our community meetings. We don't see too many of the elected officials attending unless it's right before an election, but you stepped up and you showed up, and we just want you to know that we appreciate you and we're looking forward to working with you. Happy holidays to all. Trust me, even though this is birth month, I will be kinder and gentler, but I'm not leaving just yet. Thank you.
So the clerk reminds me that to acknowledge that Legislator Lafazan is here for the meeting. So. He was here, spoke. Stephen Edmondson.
Stephen Edmondson from Oceanside, New York.
I didn't get a chance to talk to the police commissioner, but I did want to find out, since he's been here for 5 years, and the American Society of Crime Laboratories is citing a number of violations of what happened to the police lab in Nassau County. It was supposed to be was shut down, opened up, and it's failed because the Nassau County lab is not accredited. Nassau County taxpayers have been forced to pay other crime labs for their forensic testing. And Kevin McKenna from Nassau News filed a FOIL request to Nassau County Controller for invoice for the forensic testing performed by Nassau County Police Department. The time of Nassau County Crime Lab closed at the present to see how much taxpayers have been forced to pay because the Nassau County Crime Lab is not accredited. Nassau County Police Department for all inspections and Nassau County Crime Lab closed to the present. See how many inspectors the Nassau County Crime Lab has failed since closure of 2011. The Nassau County Department of Criminal Justice Service issued forensic laboratory accredited to all forensic labs in New York State, Mississippi County, NYPD, New York State Crime Lab. The Nassau County Crime Lab is still not one of the 20 forensic labs listed on receiving forensic laboratory evidence, and why? No answer?
Okay, Kevin McKenna.
Good afternoon. Kevin McKenna, Edna Drive, Syosset, New York. Thanks to Kevin McKenna, thanks to myself, Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder is being forced to reply to his FOIL request regarding 2 Nassau County police supervisors who are in fact moonlighting as defense attorneys with unfettered access to police department databases. And if they use the police department databases to assist their clients, that is a felony every time that they did it. I submitted FOIL requests to the Nassau County Police Department for Detective Lieutenant Ballistri and Skrnicki's written requests for off-duty employment as attorneys, as they're required to do, and the written approvals they received. My FOIL requests were denied for ridiculous reasons. I was told first that I have to ask Ballistri and Skrnicki for notarized written permission before Ryder will comply with the FOIL requests. I reached out to Kristen O'Neill, the Assistant Director of the New York State Committee on Open Government in Albany, and I asked her if this ridiculous requirement is proper. O'Neill confirmed that it was ridiculous and the Nassau County Police Department must comply with my FOIL requests. Nassau's famous civil rights attorney, Mr. Brewington, has expressed interest in this topic. What safeguards has Police Commissioner Ryder put in place to monitor people such as Ballistri, who was paid $278,000 last year, and Skrnicki, who was paid almost $200,000 last year, to ensure that they're not using police databases to assist their clients, which would be a felony? I hope this doesn't fall on deaf ears. I provided you all with a hard copy for the record. Next topic. In early October, I hand-delivered a letter to the office of the Nassau County Commissioner of Health, Dr. Irina Gelman, notifying her that the town of Oyster Bay demolished a zombie home clad in asbestos at 6 Hyman Drive in Farmingdale, New York. I wrote that the town of Oyster Bay took no asbestos mitigation procedures before demolishing this home, resulting in asbestos dust covering adjacent properties, and upon completion, it improperly and legally buried asbestos shingles in the yard. I lastly requested Dr. Gelman ask County Executive Bruce Blakeman and Town of Oyster Bay Saladino to terminate the demolition of zombie homes until federal guidelines regarding the safe demolition of buildings containing asbestos material are followed. On October 21st, I received an unsigned letter from the Nassau County Department of Health, Gelman, stating that they're in receipt of my letter and they have forwarded it to the New York State Department of Labor's Asbestos Control Bureau for follow-up and investigation. We don't even know if Dr. Irina Gelman, the Commissioner of Nassau County Health, we don't even know if she saw the letter. She didn't sign it. Unfortunately, this unsigned letter did not even state that Nassau County would be investigating this. The Asbestos Control Bureau that she allegedly sent this to has never contacted me. I'd like to ask, especially the legislators in the town of Oyster Bay, if you're going to investigate this.
Thank you, Mr. McKenna. Your time is up.
I'd like to ask the legislators in the town of Oyster Bay if you're going to investigate this.
Ann Myers.
So you have no concern for the residents of the town of Oyster Bay?
Your time is up, Mr. McKenna.
Thank you,
have
Mr.
3 months.
Nicolella. You have a very happy holiday, and a happy holiday to all of you. And I hope that you take this matter seriously. Thank you very much.
I thought that I was the only one who can't get through to people, but hearing these people, basically, I have attempted to get the flagpole at the south end of Eisenhower Park repaired. It's rusted, and I think it's a shame to fly the flag on a pole in that condition. I've spoken to David, I don't know, the assistant commissioner, and his boss numerous times. I know you can't paint at this time of the year, but it was early summer, and it could have been done and should have been done. I have also tried to get a meeting on a different topic with both the Democrat and Republican Board of Elections commissioners. As a poll worker, I saw systematic problems that need to be addressed, not publicly, but I would like to make them aware of what I learned and saw in that position. I've been calling them. I've been in person to request meetings. When I go in person, I have them date and time stamp that I'm there so I can prove I've been there asking for an appointment. No callbacks. It doesn't happen. I'm a little upset this morning having seen the officer's family because it brings me back to a time, and if Robin is still here, she knows what I'm speaking of. I went to a park in Hempstead looking for a legislator or a member of government to help someone. And I saw a Nassau County tent, so I went over there. She was the only one under the tent. And I said, "Excuse me, are you a legislator?" She said, "No, dear, I'm not, but I work for one." And I inquired as to what the situation was. And for many years, she stayed involved, sending me to the state representatives that I needed help with, to the federal people that I needed to contact with regards to this person's status in the country. And I would like to say to Mr. Abrahams, thank you. Thank you for having someone like Robin who cares. And I hope that there'll be someone here that will help me to get heard on these other matters. And Mr. Ferretti, as a Yankee family member, please try the Yankees.
No.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Myers. I know Commissioner Parks is in the back, and Darcy, I just ask you to take a look at that flagpole, and perhaps if it needs to be painted, we get that done. Okay, yes, so the Commissioner indicated that there were 3 poles in a similar condition. The paint, is it on order? New pole, okay, we got new poles, they're on order, and supply chain issues have prevented us from getting that yet, but they are going to do it, Ms. Myers. Eric Alexander, Village Vision Long Island, and the Long Island Main Street Alliance.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, members of the legislature. I just want to thank many of you guys for attending our Smart Growth Summit that we had back, and speaking, Presiding Officer Nicolello, Rose Walker, Steve Rhodes, Laura Schaefer, Delia DeRiggi-Witten, Debbie Muley, Arnie Drucker, Tom McKevitt, and John Jeffrey. Really great to have you guys there. And we had 1,000 people. It was bipartisan approach to governance and working together on a whole slew of issues: downtowns, housing, walkability, small business, infrastructure, human needs. And there's a whole series of recommendations that are coming out of that that we'll get to you guys, and we're also going to carry the work through the years. Lots of civics and chambers were part of the effort as well. Just a couple highlights. One, on walkable streets. We've been working with AARP on a whole slew of improvements throughout Nassau County and Long Island. I want to thank Rose Walker, Laura Schaefer, also for Hicksville improvements, Debbie Muley and Baldwin, Sheila Bino and Hempstead Delia DeRicci-Witten for some of the recommendations, improvements up in Glen Cove and in her district, and many of you too. I'm sorry I'm missing you guys, but walkable streets is important. We used to work with Sean Sally and Ari A. Lemberger in the department. We need to continue those relationships moving forward, so we'll need to connect to you guys in those areas, but there's a lot of money to improve our roadways. So that's one. Marketing our downtowns, big issue. A lot of money in tourism, never makes it to chambers. Really important that we do more of that, get the dollars directly to chambers to promote their districts. So we did a lot of that on our own. We're going to be calling on the state to pull some of those dollars in and get them directly to communities. Stay tuned on that. Similar with doing direct outreach to businesses to get dollars that are available in various grant programs. We have a guy on our staff, Mussolino Silva, who works with us in the Long Island Main Street Alliance, going door to door. A lot of people, 3 out of 4 people, don't know some of these programs exist. So it's a real issue as far as outreach. We've talked about this before here at the Ledge, and I know you guys are doing outreach through your offices, but we just need to keep doing it. We're working with Nassau Chambers, South Asian Chamber, Hispanic Chamber, African American Chamber, Peruvian Chamber, whatever, local chambers. We work with these guys door to door, so stay tuned on that. We've talked with some of you guys, or we fielded some of your guys' calls and communities about what's next at the Nassau Hub. We hope there's public meetings and openness about what is happening next at the Nassau Hub. We've gotten a lot of calls on that one. And the last one I want to end with, and I have 42 seconds, is a big issue that you guys all stepped up on last year with New York State trying to impose local zoning or take over local zoning in municipalities across the island. They want to do it again. It's a problem. And they're lowballing what we have produced as far as multifamily housing across Long Island. They're saying we've only produced 6,200 units of multifamily housing in 12 years. That number's over 20,000. So we're working with Long Island Builders Institute to cross-check all those numbers, but we know it's a whole lot more than what they're saying. We know we need to build more affordable units. We know we need to plan better and work with local communities. We know the North Shore could do a little more, but planning is from the bottom up and not from the top down from Albany. So we need your help in that this year. We're going to like to work with you guys closer in the coming year on this issue and many others, and look forward to Steve Rhodes going to Albany. We've talked about this housing issue with the state kind of getting involved in local zoning, overreaching. So.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Appreciate you coming.
Carry on. Great holiday.
See you too. Mita J. Meriday. We're going to count the minute you was talking about roads.
Mita J. Meriday. I will be brief, as long as everybody plays nice. I'm hoping we can go into 2023 with a stronger focus, but ideally, we need to have some questions answered, particularly as it pertains to redistricting. We were told by the presiding officer, and it was on the record, that residents would have a viable, legible map that we can see ahead of time, not maybe 10 minutes before you meet and vote for it, to provide some questions and input. For those who showed up at those meetings in the cold, in the rain, it clearly is an issue that residents are up in arms about. So I'm hoping that we can take it seriously. Considering I'd also like to have some kind of record, if I can't get it, maybe Newsday can do some kind of investigative report for the number of settlements that are listed on an ongoing basis in the agenda. We need to have some kind of accounting at the end of the year. Literally, how many settlements, what is the amount of these settlements that have been paid out for various and sundry activities that the county has decided to compromise and settle. We need to know that. So redistricting is one. If somebody could possibly give us some answers, that would be greatly appreciated, because unfortunately that situation will be going to court. So I'm hoping that I was hoping we didn't have to go that route, but it's true. Lastly, as I said previously, with regard to veteran services, we had an opportunity here, with me being on the White House Office of Public Engagement, to get firsthand information about what was happening with the PAC bill at the beginning of this year. We could have moved on some things that could have situated our veterans and their families a lot better. The gentleman that spoke earlier about looking for a space for the pets, think about Nassau University Medical Center. Animal therapy is something that's a great asset for our veterans that are struggling. You've got nothing but space there. You got nothing but opportunity there. Some of the key components of the PAC bill: healthcare staff and clean processors will receive toxic exposure-related education and training. That's funding. Our current staffing at the Veteran Services Agency does not have the capacity to take on this new amount of work with regard to the PAC bill. The act requires research on mortality of veterans who served in various aspects: Gulf War, post 9/11, etc. There's federal funding. Again, a research and development facility, plenty of space at the medical center. It builds stronger, skilled workforce. Again, funding available to make these things happen. The act authorizes 31 new medical facilities across the country. Why can't it be here? We brag about being one of the largest veteran populations in the Northeast corridor. Why don't we have the resources that are available to us? And I will wrap up before anybody says anything to me, because you told Mr. McKenna to sit down, but you let Mr. Alexander kind of go on a little bit. So I'm going to wrap it up. But I'm going to say this. We need to step up. That's why I'm wearing this hat that is emblematic of the Tuskegee Airmen. It's about rising above. They had to rise above in World War II when African Americans served in the hundreds of thousands, including Hispanics, Native Americans, and they fought for a double victory: victory in Europe and victory at home. We collectively made sure that there was a victory in Europe, but we're still in 2022 trying to get victory in equity and in fairness here. Do we have to go to the court to get it? I would hope not. But if so, we stand ready. Thank you. Happy holiday. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Buon Natale. Feliz Navidad. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Mita. You too. Leveda Felder.
Hi. I just didn't want to take up too much time. I just wanted to put on record the documents that I left. I just wanted to put on record the documents that I left for review, which are submitted claims by ETS that was altered after submission by workers at Nassau County Department of Social Services indicating the balance due. I also left documentation evidence that the clients were removed out of the shelter under false pretense. I left documentation from the director of Office of Community Development requesting a viability report and indicating that we needed our 501c3 reinstated, and now they won't speak to us. We have a outstanding balance of $23,000 in COVID funding that we were trying to get, and he won't call back, and he'll hang up the phone on me. And I also left documentation that representatives from Nassau County Department of Social Services submitted false information to the Office of Temporary Disability Assistance. Thank you. Happy holidays, and congratulations, Senator Rhodes.
Okay. Thank you, and you as well. John Gross, just to let you know, the agreement is on the consent calendar.
I'll be very, very brief. I wanted to extend the appreciation of the college for your bipartisan approval of the settlement, which was long in coming. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we're going to move to the consent calendar at this time. These are items that went through committees, and it's been agreed by the majority and minority that no further debate or discussion is needed at this time. Item 1, Ordinance 81. 2, Ordinance 82. 3, Ordinance 83. 4, Ordinance 84. 5, Ordinance 85. 6, Ordinance 86. 7, Ordinance 87. 8, Ordinance 88. 9, Ordinance 89. 10, Resolution 226. 11, Resolution 227. 13, Resolution 229. 14, Resolution 230. 15, Resolution 231. 16, Resolution 232. 17, Resolution 233. 18, Resolution 234. Down to 21, Resolution 237. 22, Resolution 238. 23, Resolution 239. 24, Resolution 240. 25, Resolution 241. 26, Resolution 242. 27, Resolution 243. 28, Resolution 244. 29, Resolution 245. 30, Resolution 246. 31, Resolution 247. 32, Resolution 248. Motion by Minority Leader Abraham, seconded by Deputy Presiding Officer Coppell. Any debate or discussion among the legislators? Hearing none. I did not call 12. We're going to call that next. Okay. On the items that I did call, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Carries unanimously. Item 12, Resolution 228. Let the record reflect that Legislator Rhodes is leaving the chambers, will not be participating in any debate, discussion, or vote on this specific item. A motion by Legislator Walker, seconded by Legislator DeRiggi-Whitten. Any debate or discussion on item 12? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Carries unanimously. You can invite Legislator Rhodes back into the chambers, please. Two more items on the regular calendar, then we have some emergency items and a couple of other things that we need to do. Item 19, Resolution 235. It's a resolution authorizing the county attorney to compromise and settle the claims of the County of Nassau against the proceeds of a performance bond relating to a license agreement between the County of Nassau and Carlton on the Park. Motion by Legislator Rhodes, seconded by Legislator Schaefer. Debate or discussion on item 19? Okay. I'm just going to go to a vote. All in favor of item 19 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay.
Public comment on the resolutions?
Arthur Walsh, Chief Deputy County Executive. The attorney, Andrew Scott, who was working on the file, is out ill today, so Maria Bolka, doctor, should be in the building any second now. She's on her way over.
All right, so the vote was 12 votes in the affirmative and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opposed, correct? Yeah. Okay. All right, so it's 12 to 5, so the item passes by a vote of 12 to 5. Item 20, Resolution 236, a resolution authorizing the county attorney to compromise and settle the claims of plaintiff as set forth in the actions Old Brookfield residents versus the County of Nassau. Motion by Legislator Walker, seconded by Legislator Giuffre. Any debate or discussion about this item? Hearing none. All in favor of the item signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, so that's another vote of 12 to 5. The item passes. I have actually more than two things. But we have a procedural resolution, which is a resolution number 18 as to procedure. It's a resolution to establish a calendar for meetings for the legislature for the calendar year 2023 pursuant to the county government law of Nassau County. Motion by Deputy Presiding Officer Coppell, seconded by Legislator Ford. All right, so this is just an item that sets the calendar for next year's legislative meetings, both full legislature and committees. Any debate or discussion? Any public no public comment, just on the calendar item. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Carries unanimously. Now we have an emergency calendar as well. Do we need? Yes. Okay, yeah. So there are a number of emergency items on today. These include clerk items 395 through 403 of 2022. They relate to levying of charges for the construction or reconstruction of sidewalks and demolition, clearing, and securing of unsafe premises for both the towns of Hempstead and Oyster Bay. With the permission of the minority, I would ask that a formal reading of the emergency declaration into the record be waived pending an examination or an explanation from the Department of Assessment as to the nature of the emergency and the underlying items themselves. All right. Motion by Deputy Presiding Officer Coppell, seconded by Legislator McKevitt to establish the emergency. Do we have representatives of the Department of Assessment? This is as to the emergency.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. Karen Estes, Counsel for the Department of Assessment.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It's okay, I'm just responding to your request.
Yes. Well, what's the nature of these items?
For the sidewalks and demolition,
Yes.
these are charges if, a sidewalk is broken or cracked or whatever, and the homeowner hasn't repaired it, then the county must repair that. And so this is the charge for that. The town of Hempstead has 5 installments. The town of Oyster Bay does not. So they give them, 5 years in the town of Hempstead to pay.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Why? So we were told that this had to be considered at this meeting.
Yes, because it has to get on the 2023 general tax.
Okay. You would just explain that a little bit more?
I'm sorry, what would you like me to explain?
What does that mean?
It has to go out as part of the general tax bill.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And Legislator Drucker?
Just a quick question. Does it have any, is there any correlation between these tax levies and the county's responsibility to repair or replace defective sidewalks on county roads?
No, these are for private residents, private homeowners.
But there are, at least in my district, there are a number of private homes whose backyard abuts or is adjacent to county roads that are in poor condition. Does any of these tax levies correlate to that?
No.
Can you answer why?
I don't have the information right now to answer that.
I really am curious as to the answer. Could you provide it for
Okay.
me?
You know what? I will research for that for you, and I'll get back to you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I would like to know that answer too, because I have properties that also that can pose a great risk to some of our students, traveling along Lido Boulevard.
Okay.
But on the tax levy, on this one, is this the one where we're granting the permission for the town of Hempstead and the town of Oyster Bay to include these charges on the residents' tax bill?
Yes.
It'll be under their taxes, it's not a special levy levied by the county. It won't be on the county tax bill, but on the
Yes.
town's respective
That's
tax
correct.
bills. Okay, all right, thank you.
And just to verify, so any of these are homes that in the front of their home is a county road? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry. I really can't answer that. There's a number of residences there.
No, okay, but there are bills that would then go on each town's tax bill. So,
Yes.
right, they don't have to be in a county. There could be, so if say in the sidewalk in front of my house, I didn't repair it, the town would then come in and repair it and then charge me on my tax bill.
That's correct.
Okay, and you're going to let us know about the homes that have rear properties that are on
Absolutely.
county road? Okay. that's important, I think, to all of us, because we all deal with that issue.
Okay, will
So.
do.
Thank you.
Legislator Ferretti?
Hello. So just for the sake of clarity, all we're doing today is allowing the Department of Assessment to allow the towns to pay back, to claw back the money that the towns laid out to repair sidewalks that residents failed to repair, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So nothing that we're voting on today has anything to do with county roads, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
And I apologize, that was my error. I realized it was all,
It's
it was
okay.
all town roads. But that other issue is very big to all of us, so it's important for you to get back to us about that.
Absolutely. I have it written down, and I'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to say one quick thing. Thank you, Presiding Officer. Thank you, Legislator Ferretti, because I wasn't clear about that either. Because so every one of these tax levies are for repairs that have already taken place?
Yes.
By the county?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Town.
By the town, I mean.
Town.
By the town.
Town.
Right. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a very nice holiday.
You too as well. So on the emergency, all in favor of the emergency signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Emergencies established. So now I have to call clerk items 395 to 403, 2022.
We do for these numbers, because that was established. With the emergency, I have resolution 13. Okay?
So I have to close.
Except for I think every one of them except for the tax levy, because now this has been assigned.
Okay. All right, so those are items 395 through 403. They are resolutions 248A through 248I, 2022. Motion by Deputy Presiding Officer Copel, seconded by Minority Leader Abrahams, to put those items in front of us for a vote on the substance of the items. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? They pass unanimously. We have one more item on the emergency calendar. It's item 404. This is an ordinance amending ordinance number 72-2022, fixing the tax rates and levying taxes for the 12-month 2023 fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2023, and ending December 31st, 2023 upon taxable properties within the county. We need a motion to establish the emergency. Legislator Rhodes makes that motion, seconded by Legislator Walker. Do you guys want to discuss the emergency nature, or do you want to just go right to the substance? Substance, okay. All in favor of the emergency signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, carries unanimously. I'm going to read again the item 404 of 2022, Ordinance 89A of 2022, an ordinance amending ordinance number 72 of 2022, fixing the tax rates and levying taxes for the 12-month 2023 fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2023, and ending December 31st, 2023 upon taxable properties in the county. Motion by Minority Leader Abraham, seconded by Legislator Reggie Witt.
Andy Persico, Office of Management and Budget. I just want to say congratulations to Legislator Rhodes. It's been a pleasure working with you. And I will take any money you can send us from this great state of New York, all right? Item 404,
Looking forward for the chance to talk about buckets.
Me too. Keep filling mine.
They have no idea what they're in for, huh?
Item 404 is the annual tax warrant. The establishment of the emergency, I'll just give you a little background. This comes in very late. So what happens is we have to do a crash course on getting all the information from assessment to us and putting it in the format and substantive format that we have. There's no other way around this. I wish there was, but it's going to be always going to be established by emergency, I think, at the last meeting of the legislature. So if you have any questions about it, it's a standard procedure that we do annually. So.
Okay. Any questions? Sure. Legislator Reggie Witt.
I want to thank you, Andy. I got a call from Glen Cove. We're one of the areas that are not sewered. Part of our home, at least some of our homeowners, 140. So I think you just avoided a lot of problems by addressing that prior to the tax bills going out.
Thank you, and yes, it was a challenge, I will say, over the weekend, but we got it done, so I will say that much.
I knew you could, so that's why I didn't worry about it before.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All in favor of the item signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, carries unanimously. We have one more item of business, and that is, in addition to our legislative roads, we're also going to be saying goodbye to Kevin Long, who has served distinguished this county for 30 years. He provides IT services to the legislature. Kevin has been available to all of us on a moment's notice. We have his personal cell. He responds immediately. Every technical issue that this county has dealt with in terms of these meetings throughout the pandemic and thereafter, Kevin has handled with a tremendous amount of skill and professionalism under a tremendous amount of strain. So on behalf of myself, and I'm sure others will want to speak, Kevin, thank you very much for your incredible service to this county. We appreciate it, and we will definitely miss you.
Kev, I feel like, I mean, for some of us old timers, when I say old timers, I mean, I'm one of them, because we knew Kevin Long. Rich knows this. I think it was only probably me and Rich. And I don't know anybody else that was over in the old building. And Denise, so three of us that started in the old building. We've known Kevin for a very, very long time. And he's always been prompt. He's always been diligent in getting us back up and running. Especially when some of the problems that we were having on our computers were self-created. But so Kev, I feel like over the last few years, I mean, just being in this place now, I don't know how long I've been here, 22 years, I just feel like I'm not just losing colleagues, but I'm losing friends. And I know we're not losing you per se, but I'm looking forward to your retirement. I'm looking for your next chapter in your life, and you're enjoying that. And I just want to wish you nothing but success. God bless you, brother. You've been a good guy, and that's very hard to find. And keep it up, and look forward to hearing from you in the future. Thanks again, Kev.
I too, Kevin, want to wish you good luck, and you are going to be missed. And yes, when we came over from West Street over to here, it was a big job getting all of these screens up and running, because we didn't have this technology. And when West Street, we're like a little tiny little room or something, right? So here we are, a much bigger room, but also even with our offices, like, we had, the TVs put in, laptop, whatever. So it was a lot of hard work on your part, and you were able to help us transition into this new environment. And it was like a big undertaking, for everybody, especially those in IT. But you've always been a good friend. You've always been very friendly, always available. And yes, Kavan, because I'm one of those people that many a time I realized I did something wrong, and and I would want to cringe behind my desk, but you were always very polite to try to give me a better answer, so I didn't have to feel like I was really should be ashamed of what I just did. So, but thank you very much. Good luck with whatever you do, and we're losing a very good friend and a very good technician. Thank you.
You mean questions like, how do you turn this on?
Exactly. Were you in my office?
Kevin, I just want to thank you for always being there for all of us. And I know my office had reached out to you very, very often. And sometimes we had some real issues up there to try to get it resolved. But somehow we always made it happen together. And you were such an asset to us always. And everything you did was with a kindness and a caring, and your compassion with just our work here and anything that involved issues here, but also with all our families and everything. And I just wish you the very, very best of luck, and I hope you enjoy your retirement. And if you decide to go on to something else, the best of luck with that. But enjoy the life ahead that you have, and enjoy your family and your little ones, and because that's what it's really all about. So God bless, and thank you again for everything.
Legislator Drucker.
Kevin, again, and this is in my 7 years, I consider you a chronological contemporary. So there's nothing that's more appreciated than when someone makes you feel that you're not an idiot. And there have been countless times, I know, presiding officer just said of turning things on, and Denise, you also made points too, and Kavan. But you've always, the fact that you, as the presiding officer indicated, you give us your personal cell number, and I've called it numerous times, and you pick up the phone, you respond by text, and it's so gratifying, it's so comforting, and so reassuring. You may, and you know, especially during, we had to get on Teams meetings during the pandemic, and God Almighty, sometimes that was a little challenging when you weren't around or you weren't in a certain place, and you were so patient with all of us. And I just can't tell you, in all of my years with knowing you, how appreciated you are to me and to all of us. And I wish you the very best of luck, health, and happiness to you in your next chapter.
Kevin, we have a presentation to make, so why don't you come on up? Unless you want to say anything at the mic first. Yeah.
You know how to use it, don't you?
Is it on? Do you hear me? I actually have gone all this time without actually not being on the record ever, and now on my last day, shot it around. But, oh no, you know. Thank you all very much. Very kind words. I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure and an honor to have worked with you. Some of you for a matter of months, some of you for a number of years, some of you, one of you, from the election of the first legislature through today. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You all have my phone number. Use it if you need it. We can work out billing another time. Thank you all. Thank you.
Come on up, Kevin. While he's doing that, need a motion to adjourn the legislature.
So moved.
No, that's reserved for Legislator Rhodes.
So moved. Oh, and I do just, I already said my last piece, but I do want to say sorry. I do want to say a big thank you to Sandy Von Runnen, who's been my aide for the last 8 years and will be moving over to the Senate with me. Mike Lynch, Brendan Von Runnen, a list of people have, despite my efforts to make their job more difficult, have always tried to make me look good. So, Sandy, thank you very much for your amazing work. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to working with you up in Albany.
Second.
So, thank you. And, second.
Minority Neighbor hands. All in favor of adjourning, signify by saying aye. 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 Those opposed. Okay, we're adjourned. We have rules starting in 5 minutes. Okay. No. Mike, could you call the roll? Yeah, no.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Roll call, Legislator Bino is not available. Legislator Delia Dirigi-Witten. Ranking Member Kavan Abraham as well is not available. Legislator Laura Schaefer. Legislator Stephen Rhodes. Vice Chairman Howard Copel. Chairman Richard Nicolello.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. A36, A42, A43 of 2022 are resolutions authorizing the Commissioner of Shared Services to execute a purchase order or blanket purchase order between the county and UPS Midstream, as well as Ademia Identity and Security. E139 and E140 are resolutions authorizing the county executive to execute personal services agreements between the county and Robert Rubin and Maximus U.S. Services. So we did a motion on those. It'll be a motion by Legislator Rhodes, seconded by Legislator Schaefer. We have to untable 3 contracts. They are A41 of 2022, Blue Marlin Boats, E123 of 2022, WSP USA, E117 of 22, Maximus Associates Security Services. Legislator Rhodes makes that motion to untable, seconded by Legislator Schaefer. All in favor of untabling those items signify by saying aye. Aye. And then before we start calling the actual contracts, Maximus U.S. Services, Inc. needs to be tabled. The IG is still awaiting completion of disclosure forms. So motion to table. Legislator Dirigi-Witten makes a motion to table, seconded by Deputy Presiding Officer Copel. That was 140 to 22. Yeah, same name, but 140 to 22, we need a vote on that. To table. 140, yes. Okay. All in favor of tabling signify by saying aye. Those opposed, that carries unanimously. So the first contract to call up are Public Works. We have A36 UPS Midstream Services and E123 WSP USA.
Good afternoon, Ken Arnold, Public Works. A36 is a blanket order for the repair and overhaul of Cooper Bessemer dual fuel diesel engine generators that we have at both our treatment plants. This contract had 2 bidders. We utilized this contract for capitalized maintenance on the, I think it's 9 generators that we have at these 2 facilities.
Any questions? All right, let's just go to the second one.
Okay. So the second item, E123, is a contract amendment for WSP. WSP supplies design services associated with the conveyance project. The amendment is for $3.45 million. They're required to be on the job because they are the designer of record, and their involvement in the project is integral for the proper completion.
Questions on WSP USA? Hearing none, we'll move on to the thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. All the best for the holidays. Yeah. Next contract is with Parks. E117, 2022 at Maximus Associates Security Services.
Good afternoon, Darcy Bellier, Parks Commissioner. Presenting a service agreement between the county and Maximus Associates Security Services, Inc. This contract is a result of an RFP that was conducted in 2021 for backup security and protection at various park facilities and for various events. As a supplement to to county personnel and on an as-needed basis, 10 proposals were received and evaluated. One highest-ranking proposer was selected, Professional Corporate Security Services, Inc. In the interim, this company merged with Maximus Associates Security Services. All principals remain the same as the selected vendor. The term of this agreement is for 5 years with the option to renew for 1 2-year term. Compensation is not to exceed $40,000 per year, payable at rates of $28 an hour for each guard, $35 per hour for each supervisor. If needed, overtime and overnight rate is $35 per hour, and this contract is funded by the Hotel Motel Grant Fund.
I know that there were some discussions between your office and the CSCA, but those issues that the CSCA had raised were resolved, correct?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
We actually removed some language to make them comfortable.
Okay, very good. Legislator DeReggie-Witt.
I know you had a problem with the last firm that you had for security, correct?
The one that we terminated at the last rules meeting, yes.
Have you been able to discuss those items with this new firm to
Yes.
make sure we don't run into that again?
The main item was the rate of pay that they had bid in the RFP. They couldn't compensate their guards at that lower rate.
Oh, okay.
So that's the reason for executing this one.
All right, so nothing too
Yes.
earth-shattering. Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Thank you all, and
Darcy.
happy holidays,
That's the
everybody.
holidays.
Thank you.
Next contract is with TIPFA, E-139, Robert Rubin.
Good afternoon, presiding officer, members. My name is Elaine Rossi. I'm the assistant to the general counsel. The Nassau County Traffic and Parking Violations Agency is in need of JHOs. Honorable Robert S. Rubin is qualified under the statute and has been appointed by the administrative judge.
Okay, any questions? No, thank you very much, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the last three contracts are with the police department. Starting with A41, Blue Marlin Boats.
Good afternoon, William Field, Inspector with the Police Department. Item A41-22 is to authorize an award a purchase order to the Nassau County Police Department for a 23-foot Tidewater boat, which will be used by our Nassau County Police Marine Bureau. The maximum amount authorized under this purchase order is $107,778. We're going to use this boat for a variety of reasons, including patrol, rescue operations, diving operations, navigation enforcement, environmental enforcement, as well as getting into low, shallow water areas that are difficult to get with some of our other boats.
Okay. Is this replacing an existing boat?
No, our other boats they're end of life, they're gone. So yes, I guess it's a more advanced though boat, has a lot of safety features, it's more fuel efficient, things like that.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Nope. All right, the next two are with Identity, A42 and A43.
Yes, so item A42 and A43 are related, I guess. A42 is between the Nassau County Police Department and Ademia Security, Identity and Security. This is to purchase a new automated fingerprint identification system, or what we call an AFIS. This technology is used, will give us the most advanced technology out there to increase functionality and accuracy when it comes to fingerprinting. It will also replace our current servers, which are end of life.
Any questions? Legislator DeReggie-Witt.
So is this going to be enough to facilitate all of the precincts?
This is actually, this is actually the server and the equipment that needs to go with the server to update the software that runs all the precinct machines, I guess.
Okay, so are you going to be able to use the machines that we have
Yes,
currently? Okay,
absolutely.
and this is just an upgrade in the...
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So is that the first of the two, or is that both of them?
That was the first. The second one, 43, is just to purchase 6 new machines, 3 portable and 3 ones that can be used in precincts, 3 cabinet grade machines for $139,563.
Okay. Any questions? All right, thank you, Inspector.
Thank you.
Any public comment? Mr. McKenna?
Good afternoon again, Kevin McKenna, Edna Drive, Syosset, New York. I'm hoping that somebody can clarify this confusion. This is the Rules Committee, correct?
Yes.
On the Nassau County official website, on the first page, it clearly states that after business goes before the Rules Committee, that then the business is then supposed to go before all 19 Nassau County legislators. It says it, Mr. Rhodes, it says it right on the front of the website. You're shaking your head no. I'd be happy to email you a copy of it. I'm just telling you what's on the website. I have emailed all of you, and I can't get a response to the question as to why, after it goes through the Rules Committee, certain contracts, large contracts, are not going before the full Nassau County legislator. And an example of that is months ago, the 10-year Dover Group contract that was awarded to the Dover Group. I know you're not going to answer the question as to why it's not going before the full legislature, as it says it's supposed to on the Nassau County website. But I ask you this question. How do you decide what contracts do or don't go before the legislature? What is the criteria when you, in other words, the Dover Group, for example, 10-year major contract, doesn't go before the full legislative body? What criteria determined that not going before the full legislature, even though it says it on your website it's supposed to, what criteria decided that it didn't go? What's the criteria that, Chairman Nicolello, you decide what does and doesn't go before the full legislature? The public would like to know an answer to that question.
The answer is that it's either by local law or charter that all these contracts go to the Legislative Rules Committee and not the full legislature. It's been that way since the beginning of the legislature. So these contracts go to the Rules Committee and get approved, and they're approved and do not go on to the full legislature. If there's something on the website that says something else, we will look at it and get it corrected. I know you had pointed out some other language which was incorrect, and we had changed that. So we will take another look at this incorrect information. We will make sure it gets changed.
Thank you. If you go on the Nassau County Legislative website, the first page, one paragraph, it clearly says, after everything goes through the Rules Committee, it will go before all 19 Nassau. And it should. I'm sure you would agree that it should. I mean, a 10-year, $122 million contract awarded to Motorola a couple years ago didn't go before the full legislature. Something is wrong here. And I ask the legislators that have the nerve to do something about this, because you're violating your own statement on your website. It just shows the incompetence of Nassau County. Thank you very much.
All right.
Happy holidays. And Legislator Rhodes, I wish you all the luck in your new position. Thank you very much.
Okay. I believe there's another public comment. Mr. Edmondson, you would submit another slip? Yeah.
As the former PBA president for the Nassau County Park Rangers, when we had park rangers in Nassau County, these private security contracts, which is not too friendly with CSEA, I attended the concert in Eisenhower Park with Joan Jett, and I used to have my own security company. I mean, these people, I don't know how they could go out and perform security work in sneakers and disheveled pants, and they're supposed to be representing the county and the Parks Department. And that maximum security, they're from Suffolk County, so you might want to hire companies from Nassau County first and then go to Suffolk County for the security contracts if you have to have additional security in Nassau County. And half of them don't pay the prevailing wage rate, which is supposed to under New York State law of municipalities and school districts.
Give Mr. Edmondson. Any other public comments? Hearing none, I'm going to call these contracts for a vote. They include A36, A42, A43, E139, A41, E123, and E117. All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, carries unanimously. Mr. Rhodes, for the last time. Seconded by Legislator DeRidge Whitten. All in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, carries unanimously.